Hello!
Hello!
And welcome to the Checking the Gate podcast. Today, I have with me my esteemed colleague.
I'm esteemed now? Wow.
Yeah. Your esteemy colleague.
Oh, ouch. Steamy?
I mean, that could mean anything, really. Mason,
Hi.
welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
It has.
What have you been up to? How you been?
I got promoted at work, got a nice little raise. Now I'm doing quality control, so everything is kind of working out right now.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And most importantly, you've made it back onto the Checking the Gate podcast.
Of course.
Most important.
Did I ever leave?
No.
I've been sleeping in the closet. Like, I crawled out this morning and you said, hey, let's do this. I'm kidding. I'm not sleeping in the closet.
He's not. Would you believe he was joking? I mean, I don't know how to preamble this anymore, so let's just get started.
So, we are talking about one of the most divisive films to hit nerd culture, or
especially, yeah.
and geek culture in recent history.
Well, I mean, at least since Batman vs. Superman, which we also covered on the show.
Yeah. Regardless, though, this movie is The Suicide Squad.
I want to assemble a task force of the most dangerous people on the planet. They're bad guys. Worst of the worst.
Deadshot. Guy shoots people. He's a crocodile and he eats people. Burns people. You're possessed by a witch and she's just crazy.
What was that? I should kill everyone and escape? Sorry. The voices. I'm kidding. That's not what they really said.
Let's do something fun.
Seriously, what the hell's wrong with you people?
We're bad guys. It's what we do.
Nothing really matters to me.
Suicide Squad. Basically, it seems to be about...
Do you want to do
Oh, no, we will divide and conquer. Please, take it away.
Suicide Squad is about a team of supervillains who have been captured by the Batman. And they are in a very, very, very maximum security type of prison. Belle Reve, which is a fictional prison in the DC Comics universe. So, of course, DC Comics villains were kind of tapped up by Amanda Waller, who is the head of Argus, a paramilitary governmental organization in the United States. Of course, fictional as well, as far as we know. Bum, bum, bum. So, she gets this brilliant idea that if she could control a group of super powerful supervillains who were just like complete psychopaths and had no qualms about murder or, doing what needed to be done, she could get a lot of like really sticky work done for the greater good. And if something went wrong or they needed a scapegoat, well, they're supervillains, so they could just shrug and be like, we had nothing to do with this, it's supervillains.
Pretty much. So, yeah, do the old, like, disembowelment. Like, we had no involvement in this whatsoever. Classic.
Oh, governments. Anyway.
So, yeah, the villains that she scoops up is Harley Quinn. Used to have a relationship with the Joker.
Used to?
Well, I guess they haven't really been seeing each other because she's been locked in prison. I guess they never really ended it.
Killer Croc, who's a metahuman, which is the DC equivalent of the Marvel's mutant.
They also have Deadshot, who is a charming Will Smith-esque.
Will Smith-esque? It's Will Smith.
Yes. Assassin who never misses his target.
Then who else is there?
Was it Mr. Boomerang? Is that his name?
Captain Boomerang.
Captain Boomerang. Because if you needed a villain with a stupid name, you came to the right place. But he's pretty handy with a boomerang, to be fair.
Then there's also Rick Flag, who's like the completely normal, like, army-type person that's walking around with the Suicide Squad.
Oh, don't forget his bodyguard, Katana. She's Japanese and uses a sword.
Oh, no, she uses a possessed sword.
Right, no, it's a soul-stealing sword that has all the souls of everyone that's killed in it.
Yes.
Including
her husband.
Her former husband. Well, I mean, I think it's safe to say ex-husband, because I think The terms are if death do us part.
There's also the Joker.
Well, Joker's not part of the Suicide Squad.
Well, no.
But he gets wind that Harley is out of jail and wants to reconnect with his beau. Or bae? Is that what the people are saying these days?
Teenagers.
Teenagers saying bae? Is that what I'm... Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
Del Diablo!
His big thing is that he can control fire.
Not dissimilar from...
Pyro?
Pyro from... Although...
Well, he can make it.
He can create the flame. Pyro could only control the flame.
Yeah.
You're a god among insects. Don't you forget it.
Also Enchantress.
Well, Enchantress is actually... Well, she's supposed to be a member of the Suicide Squad, but we believe she's a clever witch, literal witch, who actually winds up becoming the villain, because she's like, I hate people, so I'm going to bring my brother back to life, kinda, and then create a vortex that destroys everything, because that's what bad guys do.
Oh, wait, and I think I got the name of the... There's also Slipknot.
Oh, well, you know...
who's not really in it very long. So that is the cast. It's directed by David Ayers. Ayers.
At least that's what I've heard it pronounced as, David Ayer.
Ayer.
Yeah, he had a big hit a couple years ago. End of Watch, which had Jake Gyllenhaal. He's like a big crime and police director. So like Harsh Times with Christian Bale, Street Kings with Keanu Reeves.
Fury, the war movie.
Oh yeah, you know, I haven't seen Fury, but I heard good things.
It's about a tank.
And also, unfortunately, Sabotage with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say unfortunately, because although I heard not so great things, I haven't seen it myself. And here on the Checking the Gate podcast, we want to give everything a shot before we judge it. But we gave Suicide Squad a shot, so now let's judge it.
Okay.
So, Mason, tell me, what do you feel were the pros of the film? What would work for you? You can tell it's going to be a bit of a doozy when there's a lot of hesitation on this question. It's like, oh, yeah, will work. Well,
apart from the Avengers and the X-Men, which, we'll compare and contrast a little bit later, it was one of the best team movies for a superhero team to come out in a little while. The Suicide Squad is always an interesting concept because the reason that they're called the Suicide Squad is Amanda Waller and Rick Flag carry around with them like a little remote control that controls explosives that have been surgically implanted into the team members' necks.
Well, because they're bad guys, they're considered expendable.
Yeah.
So the moment you send them out, you're like, well...
So they're told very explicitly that if they go rogue or run away or don't follow a single order...
Or I think in this movie they even say if they fail the mission.
Yeah, then
that's hard.
a button gets pressed and boom goes their head. And that's why they're called the Suicide Squad. Technically, that's not suicide, that's murder.
This is true. Yeah, no, it is indeed murder. To be fair, the term, the Expendables, is taken as well. So, yeah. Although I think the Suicide Squad had... It's catchy. It's a catchy name. We'll give it that, you know?
Yeah. The official name in the comics and the movie is Team X, I believe. But regardless, that's the concept of the Suicide Squad. In the comics, a lot of different supervillains have been a part of the Suicide Squad. There's kind of like a rotating cast. It's an interesting concept. They got very, very heavily into the characters, even though there were a lot of characters in the movie who were useless and pointless. And why did we have them?
You're talking about Captain Boomerang.
I'm talking about Captain Boomerang. I'm talking about a guy with a grappling hook.
We're getting onto this stuff that didn't work.
Right, okay.
Stuff that does.
So stuff that does work. Will Smith definitely works.
Oh yeah, this is a good performance from him because he really dances that line of. Although he never really goes full bad. He never seems like a bad guy because he's so lovable as Will Smith.
Except he gets paid to kill people.
Yeah, there's that. But you always kind of sympathize with him. You always kind of understand he's just doing what's right for his daughter. And they're like, oh yeah, but he's also an assassin. So there's that. Yeah. And a kind of a ruthless one, too.
Deadshot was also on Arrow, the CW TV series, for a brief time. And in my opinion, Will Smith's portrayal of the character is much, 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 much better than the one we got from Arrow.
I mean, I can neither confirm nor deny that, but I suspect so. Will Smith has this professionalism about him. He always seems like he's in command of the set. And also, we're talking about like his cast members who succeeded. I think for the most part, apart from like her losing her accent a little bit, Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, I felt she was actually a pretty strong choice.
Yeah.
Looked like the role, embodied the role, occasionally kind of lost the voice, but sometimes she had it. She didn't really have to do the voice, I feel like.
No. If you're doing Harley Quinn, you must have the thick Brooklyn accent. It's like doing a Little Shop of Horrors and not having Audrey have the voice. Like, that's as iconic as it is.
All right, well then I stand corrected. I guess I just feel like there's a level of frustration in the fact that sometimes it was there, and sometimes it wasn't. But the thing is, like, her performance, despite that, was for the most part very good. So I don't want to rag on it. And regardless, like she's the whole time she's putting on an accent, because I'm pretty sure Margot Robbie, but she's Australian, so she's already having to put on an American accent.
Yeah.
So, and you never hear her Australian accent in this. Is there anything that really worked for you story wise? Or even tonally in the film? Or here, I guess I'll take it for a little bit if you want.
Please.
There was kind of a cool tone for part of the film. The stuff where they're wandering through the streets and fighting off those like eyeball creatures and stuff like that. Tonally, that was kind of cool. It had this really kind of gritty atmosphere, and I feel like that's what the Suicide Squad really needed, was to be gritty, because
that's every DC movie?
Well, I mean, this one in particular, it does focus on the villains. I mean, people complain about the darkness of Batman v Superman, because they're like, well, Superman's not a dark character. Batman is, but I feel like it was more of a Superman movie than a Batman movie. Where this one is focused on the villains. It's focused on the bad guys, and I feel like that grittiness needed to be there. I also feel like the movie worked at moments when the characters were starting to talk to each other, when they were starting to interact. It was way too late in the movie, but there's this scene where they're in a bar, and they're just being themselves with each other, and you really get to know them. You get to know a little bit of El Diablo's story. And that was very effective to me. That was stuff that really worked, because that's what this needed to be. This needed to be an exploration of these characters on the wrong side of the fence. They're prisoners, and to hear their humanity portrayed, I think, was extremely beneficial to the movie. El Diablo, up until that point, felt like a wasted character. And then suddenly, okay, I'm actually getting to sympathize with him. I'm starting to like him. Even though he's done, really questionable things, you can see remorse and regret and this really complex layer to him. But it's so late in the film. It's like there's so much movie to get through before you get anywhere near there.
Touching on that a little bit, I think at the very, very beginning, like in that opening montage where Amanda Waller's introducing all of the characters to the audience, they spend a significant portion of time on Harley Quinn and Deadshot and no one else.
No, everyone else is like glossed through.
And because of that, I think the movie really set those two up to be the main characters of the film, which that is why as a team movie this succeeds, because much like the X-Men films, there's like a couple of really main characters and then everyone else is just kind of their help.
I mean, it even opens up with Deadshot. Like, it actually doesn't open up with Amanda Waller setting things up. It opens up with Deadshot and then Harley Quinn. Well, I guess we'll get more into that a little bit later as to like why that works or doesn't work for me. Yeah. Anything else that you feel really works for the film?
No.
Okay. Cool.
So what didn't work for you?
I'm glad you asked. I don't know if it was rescued or mangled in the editing room.
From what I hear, completely mangled. I've heard that so much stuff of the Joker was taken out that they could have done like a standalone Joker movie.
There's jokes about the DVD being released and there being like a Joker cut.
Yeah.
I mean, at first glance, you want to say that it's obviously mangled because of how the end product turned out. But at the same time, maybe the studio was onto something and like it was a mess and they had to do everything they could to fix it.
I heard stories that apparently the first cut of the movie was super, super, super dark and like depressing, and the studio decided to re-edit it to be more light and funny, which I think was a good choice on their part, because DC has been getting a lot of flack recently in that all of the movies that they've produced live action have been super dark and super depressing. Like even Man of Steel was really dark.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is the right movie to do. I don't know. See, the thing is, like, they're saying that it was recut to be funnier, but I didn't find it particularly funny. So there's that.
Yeah, I found it to be like more amusing and sometimes witty than laugh out loud funny.
With the editing job, whatever was done in the editing room to either save or mangle the movie, the first act is unintelligible garbage. Like, it is absolutely... I'm watching him I'm like, what the hell is going on? I don't understand any of this. It's like flashes of... like flashbacks of flashbacks, and like little bits of dialogue. I know, like, some cool imagery here, but like nothing makes any sense. Nothing stringed together. Mm-hmm. You don't get any good character establishment. I didn't know what the heck was going on, and like, I watch movies a lot. You know, like, yeah. I get the language of cinema, but like, this was like a collection of vines. Like little 6-second snippets of like something happening, and you're like, whoa, was that funny? Was that dark? I don't know. And then it's on to the next scene, and there's very little explanation. The movie never fully recovers from how bad the first act is.
Yeah.
And again, like, later on, the movie starts to find its stride, you start to breathe, you start to get to know the characters. But the first act's job is to get to know the characters.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
No.
A little bit with Harley Quinn, a little bit with Deadshot, a little bit with Amanda Waller, but that's it.
Yeah.
And for an ensemble film, like you said, like, you need to... I mean, give us a bit more. I understand you have to have a key player. You have to, or in this case, a couple key players. If you were to turn this into a Netflix series, you could flesh out everybody. But you can't. It's a feature film, and we have to be forgiving and understanding of that.
No, we don't have to be forgiving, and we're critics. Our job is to not forgive films for these things.
I entirely disagree with that sentiment. We're critics, therefore we must understand that there are certain limitations that you need to...
but we don't have to be forgiving.
Well, no, there's plenty I'm not going to forgive. But, what I'm saying, though, is that, in this case, is that some of the characters were so underdeveloped that it is unforgivable. All I'm saying is that there are times where you have to understand that they can't develop everybody the same amount. That's what you can forgive. In this case, it was so disproportionate. Killer Croc got like 3 lines in the whole movie. That's a wasted opportunity. Killer Croc, he looked great.
Oh my god.
They really nailed his look.
Oh god, yes.
That's great. A cinematically realized Killer Croc on screen, and I bought it, and then he was just underused. It's like all that work.
He's a giant dude that looks like a crocodile who's a cannibal.
And practical effects. It was all practical.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like hours of prosthetics and then makeup. It was so good. And Killer Croc is a really, really vicious supervillain, and I wanted to see more of that.
I mean, all he does is he just walks around with everybody, and then he punches bad guys. And he has a bit of a moment to shine near the end when he gets to swim.
Yeah.
And then he shows that he has a little bit of a sense of humor at times, and like, okay, that's kind of refreshing. But overall, like, you don't have anything to work with. You don't get to know who he is, or and again, the first act, if they established a bit more, then he's like, well, he's big and green, and he's real mean, and then that's it. I mean, Captain Boomerang, like,
oh god.
I mean, you know what I'll say is that it's one of Jai Courtney's better, more charismatic performances. That's because I haven't really liked him in anything.
The character, though, is just... oh, God.
I mean, the thing is, what's weird about the Captain Boomerang character is that he's not, like, good enough at anything to be part of the team. You know, it's like, what do? You throw boomerangs and you fight a scrapper. But, like...
what I know of the character Captain Boomerang is he's... primarily a villain of The Flash.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, well, The Flash is the one who takes him in.
Yeah, but, like, in the comics, he is normally one of The Flash's rogues. Like, he's shown up in the Flash TV series, too, actually. It was in a crossover with Arrow on the CW. My opinion of him is he's kind of, like, one of the filler bad guys that, like, you know, you need an episode to fill up some time as you're... you know, developing the larger plot, and that's what Captain Boomerang does. Like,
right, he's like the Rhino.
He is the Rhino. Spider-Man's Rhino.
Yeah, exactly. Where he's like, it's like, don't give him a whole movie. He's not interesting enough.
No,
but
no, it's not.
but as a little, oh, the Rhino's robbing a bank, gotta stop him, as a sort of like side villain, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
He doesn't do much.
No.
He throws a boomerang. He throws a reconnaissance boomerang, which I thought was kind of funny. It's like, it's got a camera on it. But beyond that, I don't know. You know, this is another thing that's kind of, I feel, a little wasted with the film. You got these characters who have these special abilities, and for the most part, they don't really use them much.
No.
What is the point of this team at all? Because they wind up sending in a bunch of like actual like SWAT agents and stuff anyway.
Yeah.
You know, the idea was to send in the Suicide Squad so these guys didn't have to go in. They still went in with the Suicide Squad. They all get killed off, you know? And then you have the Suicide Squad who doesn't... I mean, you got Deadshot who has great accuracy. Hooray. There's nothing else really kind of special about what they do as far as like progressing the plot with their powers. Like, this was an opportunity to get creative and show what it is that they actually lend to this fight against a greater evil and what they actually have to offer. And what they have to offer is that okay, they're expendable.
Yeah. Like, all the opportunities for really, really interesting characters either weren't developed enough or just gave unanswered questions. Like, for example, El Diablo went from, I'm never using my powers again, like, I'm just along for the ride, and, you know, I don't want to die, so I'm not using my powers. And all throughout the movie, everybody's been trying to pull him along and get him to use his abilities, like him being possessed by the demon El Diablo, like the devil himself. That's just kind of like a talking point, and then it's never developed, and then the movie ends. That would have been interesting to learn more about. Like, oh, so you're the devil? What's the deal with that? How'd that happen?
Tell me more. Oh, you're dead. Okay, well, never mind.
Even in the realm of, like, the DC canon, there's so many more interesting villains they could have put in there to develop and to have thrown into other movies. Like the Riddler, the Tinkerer. There are a lot of other really, really good DC villains. Like Lobo, an intergalactic bounty hunter, who's normally a villain of Superman.
Well, I have no doubt in my mind that come down the road... Since this movie has made a fair bit of money,
Sequel.
There's going to be probably Suicide Squad 2. Maybe they'll get their ducks in a row for it. I don't know. Mason, do you feel like this movie in any way helped shape the grand picture of the DC universe? Because what we said about Batman vs Superman was that people should see it. You know, even if it's not the best movie, it is a sort of an essential movie in what it has done as far as like progressing the DC universe story. Do you feel like this movie has done that to any degree?
Nope.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way. It's like if people are like, should I see it because I really want to see DC movies? I'm like, I mean, I don't think you get to see Batman, but like a little bit.
Yeah.
You get to see the Joker, but just a little bit.
Although apparently, because of Margot Robbie's breakout performance, I hear that Warner Brothers might be doing like standalone Harley Quinn movies. Then that would also very likely introduce more female characters to the DC cinematic universe.
I think that would open a great door for Poison Ivy.
Yes.
But, you know, I guess we'll have to see what happens down the pipeline, because if this is all comic book movie chatter, a lot of stuff will happen and not happen. Yeah. Right now, it seems like DC's still trying to, like, figure shit out, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
And, you know, some of the interesting things have happened. They've got a new head of the movie department who's going to try and steer the ship, kind of like Kevin Feige does with Marvel.
That's good.
God willing, he'll do even half as good a job.
Half as good of a job would be a huge improvement.
Okay, so sorry, you wanted to talk about the
Joker and Harley Quinn and their relationship.
Yeah.
I used finger quotes there. You can't see me, but
he did. Relationship from this point we'll go relationship. Because those are the quotation marks.
Okay. So I think if we're going to discuss this, we also need to touch a bit on Jessica Jones, the Marvel Netflix series.
First, we should touch on the origin of Harley Quinn, because she was actually not made in the comics like a lot of the characters. No. She was made in the Batman animated series from the early 90s.
Early 90s. Oh my god.
Still arguably one of the best comic book adaptations, not even just in cartoons, but for television.
Ever.
And this is like me kind of having revisited the show as an adult and looking at it more objectively without those nostalgia goggles and going like, hey, this really holds up.
It's so good.
It holds up a lot better than the 90s X-Men.
Yep.
It holds up a lot better than the 90s Spider-Man.
Yep.
And I still liked those shows.
Oh, yeah.
And I still liked revisiting them. Mm-hmm. But you can feel like it's a little limited. It didn't do what I thought it did as a kid.
Yeah.
But I still kind of like it.
Yeah.
But Batman, the animated series...
Oh, God.
They established this character kind of originally as this sort of like, oh, the Joker needs a henchman lady, and we'll kind of like add a little bit of romance in the Joker's life, he. And then like more and more, she became more and more interesting.
Yeah.
And wound up having this really cool origin story of her being the psychiatrist.
Yeah.
Of the Joker.
And then falling in love with him, getting taken in by him.
Because he drove her crazy, and she fell in love with him because... apparently, clowns are her thing. It's a real thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Actually, it legitimately is a fetish.
Oh, I know. I wasn't joking.
Okay, good.
But more so, I think there is also a legitimate psychological thing where you start to sympathize with people, and
it's called Stockholm Syndrome?
Well, it's different because he wasn't her captor. Stockholm Syndrome is specifically about a victim who has been captured. But I guess it's similar, though. Like, it is actually pretty similar. But in this case, she was his psychologist, and he was actually in prison.
Usually, like, when it's patient to the authority figure or, like, the caregiver, it's called transference.
Okay. Well, then, I guess it's called transference. That, has been kind of taken into cartoonish proportions. But hey, why not? Like, what a great origin to a good character who, like, has gone shockingly mainstream over the years. Like, she's got her own comic book lines. You go to any, like, Comic-Con or cosplay event, you're going to find a handful of Harley Quinns.
Oh, yeah.
And now she's the hit of Suicide Squad.
Oh, her and Deadshot, breakout roles.
I think they knew that going into this film. It's like, okay, we got Will Smith for Deadshot. We better make this look good.
Oh, God.
And then I think they were aware of how like popular Harley Quinn was, and like, okay, we got to really capitalize on this role. And also, like, the Joker is an incredibly popular character. Like, you want to talk about someone who took the audience by storm. Nothing was bigger in 2008 than actually everyone. Mason's wearing a Dark Knight shirt.
I got this when I was working at Blockbuster Videos.
Very nice.
Back when The Dark Knight came to Blu-ray and DVD.
Brilliant. The Dark Knight, the Joker was like the thing that that Halloween, you better believe everyone was dressed up as the Joker.
Yeah.
And the only people that weren't will be like, well, I don't know. Everyone will be dressed up like the Joker. And so to bring that iconic character back to the big screen, I think it's something that Warner Brothers couldn't say no to. They're like, oh, well, surefire hit if we have the Joker in the Suicide Squad movie.
Yeah. In the movie, their relationship is not healthy.
I've heard conflicting reports as to like what it is in the film that was kept in and what was changed from the initial scripts and the initial shoots, because there's a lot of reshoots in this movie, and a lot of that was surrounding the Joker and Harley. Like, I think that the relationship was way more abusive in an original cut, and then test audiences were like, this is really dark and we don't like it. And so they really actually toned down the Joker's abuse, because I think back to their relationship in the animated series, you do also see moments where you get this very like lighthearted side of him, and you get to see him kind of occasionally get a little tender and warm up to Harley, and I kind of like that she was like the only one who had this ability to soften up the Joker a little bit. But I kind of feel like we didn't get a good sense of much of the relationship in this film. Well, because so many scenes of the Joker were cut, you only get a sense of like he's sort of obsessed and really devoted to getting her back. But at the same time,
as abusers tend to be.
But at the same time, when the Batman saved Harley from drowning, like the Joker was nowhere to be found, he didn't save her at all. I guess what it does sort of say is sort of underlined is that the Joker kind of just has this ownership of Harley. Like, she's still alive. Okay, therefore he should have her back, and she's his property. But beyond that, like, that seems to be kind of where it leaves off, essentially.
I think that it could have been done better. Like, even if there were scenes of worse abuse and darker abuse, could have been done better and a little bit more accurately. It's just, like, so hard to find, like, accurate portrayals of certain things in movies and the media because, like, standards and practices always goes, whoa, we can't do this.
It's a hard thing to do in a comic book film because essentially, like, you could have a really dark, gritty, abusive relationship movie about Harley Quinn and the Joker, but, like, how are you gonna sell that? You know, like, how are you gonna actually make people want to watch that? Guys like us might, because we're big cinemaphiles. We're both very interested in complex relationships in film. Well, this movie was sort of like, look, it's Harley Quinn and all these neon colors, and she's like, hey, sugar. You know, it's like, it just... I mean, the marketing of this movie was obviously brilliant because they managed to, like, shatter some opening weekend records and stuff like that. But I think if it was just this dark Joker and Harley Quinn romance movie, I suspect it wouldn't have done nearly as well in its opening weekend.
Then again, you know, calling what the Joker and Harley Quinn have a romance is fishy at best, in my opinion.
Well, I never said it was an ideal romance. So.
Well, no, I think, like, if we were going to get that movie, it would need to be a story of their relationship and not a romance, because it's, like, clearly very, very abusive, the dynamic that they have, and there's a lot of different things going on, and they're both really complex sociopaths. Like, don't get me wrong, they are off their rockers sociopaths. They do have a very interesting dynamic, a very unhealthy dynamic, and criminal dynamic, and that's my opinions on that.
I guess we can talk about the few scenes that they actually do have together. There's this really awkward party, like, nightclub scene where there's a guy who's like, oh, Joker, your girl's so fine. And then the Joker's like, you can have her. And then he's like, nope, I changed my mind. This seems like a trap. And then the Joker... and then,
it was a trap.
And then it was a trap. And then it was just this really, ultimately kind of pointless scene that I didn't understand.
I think that that kind of scene was to better acquaint us with, like, the dynamic of their relationship.
So yeah, I guess there's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of a scene of them being chased by Batman, which doesn't really do anything other than get her captured. And then there's a scene in the helicopter, which is probably all of 1 minute long, before she falls out of said helicopter, and it is presumed that the Joker is dead, because the helicopter go boom, and then that's kind of it. I mean, this movie, there's so much advertisement around the Joker in this film.
Well, because he's kind of like the breakout character everybody cares about. And apparently, I heard that there was a scene where it was revealed that Batman actually broke all of his teeth.
That's why he has the
metal teeth, and had to have his jaw wired shut for a while, and now I can't smile or laugh or anything. So that's why he got the picture of a mouth smiling tattooed on his face, and whenever he laughs, he covers his mouth. Like, after the Batman did that, he said something like, oh, now I'm damaged, look at what you did. And that's why he got damaged tattooed on his forehead.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah, wish we got that scene.
There's so much Joker on the cutting room floor. Now, this is kind of going back to the idea of, now, did the editor save the film or did he mangle the film?
Both?
Maybe. So, let's talk a little bit about Jared Leto's Joker. What did you think of him?
In the comics, the point of the Joker has always been to completely reinvent himself. Like, he's had a lot of different appearances, and he's done a lot of different things to himself. Like, most recently, he cut off his face, surgically removed the skin on the front of his head, and then...
He did a face-off?
Yes. Yes, he did.
He took his face
off. Yeah, but he surgically got his face cut off, and then he stretched it back over.
Oh,
like pinned it back on, so like you can see his face like kind of hanging off.
He gave himself a bad face. Though.
Here, I can show you the pictures.
Sure, let's Google her up.
So this is kind of what he did. There it is. That's what he did to himself.
Well, that's delightful.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So, like, the Joker throughout time has always been reinventing himself.
Right.
In, like, not just appearance, but, like, in motives and all that.
You haven't answered my question.
Oh.
About what do you think of Jared Leto's Joker?
Yeah. Well, with the preamble about what the Joker is.
Yeah.
I think this one is a very, very interesting and unique take on the character. I have not seen enough of him to actually be like, oh, this is who this version of this character is and what he's about and all of that. I kind of like the ambiguity of his Joker. Like, we don't really know what he wants. We don't really get to see how he operates. One thing about Heath Ledger's Joker is he was very, like, precise and very, like, clear. Even though what he wanted was basically anarchy, it was very, very clear that's what he wanted.
He even basically said that he was just an agent of chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This Joker, like, he owns a business. Like, it's, a club, like a strip club or whatever, but he owns a business. From that, we can discern that he has roots in Gotham City, and he...
And Gotham's the kind of city where a guy like the Joker can apparently own a club.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm not 100% sure about what I think about him because I haven't seen enough of him.
That's fair, is that there's so much Joker on the cutting room floor. Even Jared Leto is, like, really upset about it. It's hard to get a good sense of him. I was watching him, and at first glance, it seems like he's just kind of doing a bad Heath Ledger Joker impression. But there is something different. There is something that isn't quite the same. But I do feel like his performance was a little bit misguided, and it's not to say that Jared Leto. I think he's a good actor. Mm-hmm. Obviously, Dallas Buyers Club, Requiem for a Dream, like these are great performances. Mm-hmm. I don't know, and I even think that he could probably do a good Joker performance. But I feel like even from the little bits that I saw, he just seemed to not really be very well guided, and he seemed like he was a little too like trying to be artsy and like and sort of like and like just this like weird, like I think Jared Leto got a little, he was probably going like full actor and he just like took Joker in this really like weird kind of like spiritual visual direction. And like, and you can kind of see like when he sprawls out in this like circle of knives. He's like, I'm the Joker. I feel like this might be more of the fault of the director not steering him in the right direction.
Well, see, you could say that, but then I would argue that, for example, for the Pirates of the Caribbean, Johnny Depp really, really wanted gold teeth, and the director said, "No, you don't. Don't do that." So Johnny Depp went and got a bunch of dental work done, got all of his teeth, like, covered in gold, and the director went, you can keep some. And then that's how we got the amount of gold teeth that Johnny Depp has in the Pirates of the Caribbean. So some things that, like, a really dedicated, like, method actor, like I think Jared Leto was trying to be, will, like, just go out and do. And no matter how much you protest as like a director or producer or studio, either you need to work with them on those kinds of things, or you need to fire them.
I mean, ultimately, actors need to recognize that the director is the one in charge, and it's his movie, and you have to like listen to what he says.
Well, I think that's kind of debatable, depending on who you ask.
It is a debatable point. It is not the case in television. The showrunner is the person in charge. Directors have very little say. In the event of movies like, let's say, big studio pictures like the Marvel films, Kevin Feige's in charge. But my understanding is that Warner Brothers wanted to make their movies in contrast to Marvel's films where Kevin Feige's in charge. They wanted to try and be more filmmaker oriented.
Ultimately, though, I would say that the person funding it, or the studio funding it, holds all of the cards.
I mean, well, that shows in Suicide Squad, because they went with the direction of like, we're going to trust the filmmakers and have it be very filmmaker centric, and then at the end of the day, they slice this film to pieces. That's the thing, is that if you're going to go filmmaker centric, you got to really trust your filmmakers. And DC has shown that they don't. They've shown like more than once that they don't. They're like, chop 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 chop. There you go. Now we got a movie we can market.
Yeah.
And then people walk away going like, I don't know what that was. It was a mess. And the mess is because the studio and the filmmaker aren't seeing eye to eye.
But, like, even beyond that, like, practically speaking, it's the studio that's in charge because...
Well, yes. They're shelling the money. Ultimately, they have the final say, and I get that.
Yeah.
But right now we're talking about the dynamic between actor and director.
Yes.
So, actor-wise, I'm all for actors making bold, dynamic choices and sticking to their guns if it's really worth it, and if they have the right instincts. And I do kind of feel like Jared Leto didn't have the right instincts, and he needed the guidance in this particular instance. I might be wrong because, like you and I have both said, there's a lot of Joker on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
It's really hard to have an opinion.
So hard.
Because maybe there are moments of sheer brilliance that the audience is not seeing until the inevitable extended edition on Blu-ray, which may not. Which, you know what, like, that almost seems like a bad move in and of itself, because people were like, "Oh, this Batman vs Superman cut is better than the theatrical one."
Is it?
Well, that's what I've heard. I haven't seen it.
Oh, I haven't. Maybe we should.
If they have a Suicide Squad cut that's so much better than the theatrical version, people are going to get wise to that and be like, maybe we should skip the theaters and just wait for the Blu-ray. You know, maybe. Man, we sure can tangent.
We really, really do.
Tell me more about the Suicide Squad, Mason.
It was just a mess. Batman. We wanted to talk about Batman.
Sure, yeah. Well, so what do you want to say about Batman?
Actually, not just Batman, but like the larger DC cinematic universe that they're trying to build. Amanda Waller established that, like, despite the scene within the credits, she knew about Batman, about Aquaman, she knew about Wonder Woman, she knew about The Flash, she knew about Cyborg, and it just doesn't make any sense to me, given the movie that we have, why she wouldn't try and go for one of these other characters who reasonably she would know are more willing and more wanting to help and be on the side of good and defeat these bad things. Why would she go for people she might have to kill? Like, ultimately, I think it communicates that in reality, Amanda Waller is the big bad guy here because she deliberately seeks out people that are completely unwilling to help, implants them with explosives, and then spends the rest of her screen time threatening them with imminent death. Like, that's a degree of psychopathy that rivals the Joker.
You know, I gotta say is that this movie did make me kind of question Amanda Waller's, not just her tactics, but like her
ethics
at all.
Yeah,
because there wasn't a lot of logic, and then no discredit to Viola Davis. She did a great job.
Oh yeah,
but like,
Amanda Waller has always been like a really strong character.
But like, again, assembling the whole Suicide Squad, even thinking that she could harness the powers of the Enchantress. And also, like, moments where just like, why is she even doing this? Like, what is her motive? Like, there's that scene where they get her from that room, and then she just, like, shoots a bunch of the people who are working for her. And I'm like, why? Why did you do that? Like, that literally makes absolutely no sense. I just don't understand. I don't understand her character and her motive.
Yeah, and, like, in the larger universe that this film is set, she could assemble some legitimately good guys in like a covert, like dark ops kind of team who would be willing to do the things that she wants them to do.
She could get a bunch of people together, a whole league of people, even, and who stand for justice.
Yes, like a league of justice.
Yeah, like one of those like some kind of Justice League, if you will,
yeah.
And they could avenge somebody.
Or you know, like she could just assemble her own team of good or kind of sometimes good characters who would just be like, I'll volunteer, like this is a thing that I want to do for the greater good. Have it set up as like a black ops covert kind of like unassociated with the government kind of thing. So, you know, whatever happens, she can be like, I didn't even touch this. Like, this is not my thing.
Or again, you know, like, it's not a bad idea, again, for the Suicide Squad, if we could sort of see why she selected these people and what their powers contributed to the team. Because then, again, like, that would just make more sense to me. But again, it does kind of seem just like she got some people together who don't have anything overly significant about them, except for like a few of them, and then she's like, and then if you guys run away, I'm gonna blow your heads off.
Yeah, and you know, like the ridiculous thing too is that the really super powered characters are secondary to everybody who just doesn't have really significant powers.
Yeah,
or
Harley
abilities.
Quinn. Of course, she's the selling point of the film, but like she doesn't have any power. She just hits people with baseball bats.
Yeah.
And then like way second fiddle,
El
El
Diablo.
Diablo, who can like conjure up fire and roast all the bad guys with a single thought.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh well, that's kind of a weird team dynamic. A lot of questions unanswered, I gotta say.
I mean, like, the thing that I really want to know is when something like what the Enchantress had going on and her brother, who is, you know, the other, like, big bad guy established in the movie, when, like, that stuff starts happening in the middle of the city, how come no other heroes are like, hey, let's check this thing out? But yeah,
I mean, well, that's always the question when it comes to superhero movies that exist all in the same universe.
But you know, like Marvel's Daredevil series on Netflix answers that quite significantly. Jessica Jones doesn't really deal with anything as significant that would require the attention of the Avengers. Like, that question is dealt with very, very directly and specifically throughout all the Marvel movies. Like, every single Iron Man movie since the founding of the Avengers has gone on to be like, why don't we just, like, call up the Avengers? And then Tony Stark gives, like, they're on vacation. Like, Thor's MIA, Captain America is disavowed. Like, you know, whatever it is, like, they say it. Right?
At least, yeah, the little acknowledgement couldn't hurt, you know. No, Superman is dead.
Was dead, yeah.
So there's that. Yeah, you know, like, maybe it was a good time because the Justice League wasn't formed yet. And so...
But, like, these characters are existing, and people know about them. And instead of being like... It was established that Batman was busy, but then there's, like, the Flash, who could zoom over from Central City in literally a flash.
Yeah, true.
You know, Cyborg is operating, like, relatively close by. He's a cyborg, like, and you know, besides that, Amanda Waller has the resources of the United States government. State-to-state travel is not a problem for her.
Well,
so
many questions.
Oh, God, no. I just think that it's, like, something about her character that's never really addressed, because she instead looks for people she can control and threaten.
So you want to talk about abusive relationships? The Suicide Squad is in an abusive relationship with Amanda Waller. How about that?
Bechdel test.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for Mason's Bechdel test. I shouldn't have done that on the table.
Wait, we shouldn't.
But no. I did it. It was me.
and then I started doing it too.
But I did start. Okay,
yeah.
Anyways.
So, are there more than one female character? Yes.
Yes.
Do they talk to each other? Yes. Yes.
Enough. A little bit. And they talk to each other about something other than men.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. They pass... the movie passes the Macklemore test?
I think the one who makes the movie pass the Macklemore test is Amanda Waller.
Yeah.
I think she's the one... Because I think all the other characters are connected to men. Like Katana and
her sword husband.
And Harley Quinn.
And Harley Quinn to the Joker.
Well, no, I was going to say Katana more connected to, what's his name, Flag or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
But
her whole thing is driven by her dead husband, too.
Well, does he count if he's dead? I don't know. But for sure, Amanda Waller is completely independently driven. So there you go.
Does it pass the Furiosa test?
What's the Furiosa test?
It makes idiots on the internet angry.
I think idiots on the internet are angry about some things, but
this movie specifically, are idiots on the internet angry about it?
Are they angry about the feminism in the movie?
Or about the movie?
Because I haven't gotten a sense of it. No, I think if anyone's mad about this movie, it's about the quality of the movie.
Yeah,
it's not about the female characters. It
so
seems the Furiosa test. Interesting. Is that an official one, or did you make that one up?
I actually read something on it on the internet. It wasn't like an article or, you know, like, there's this new thing I invented by somebody. I just saw like a screen cap of people talking about like this test, the Furiosa test. And then someone was like, "What's that?" It makes idiots on the internet angry.
Okay, so it's just sort of said in jest, and now you're kind of holding on to it like, oh, it's a good idea.
It is, though, isn't it?
Cool. So, I think we should wrap this up. Would you recommend it, and who would you recommend it to?
I would recommend it to anybody who wants to see a Harley Quinn movie.
Margot Robbie fans?
Or Harley Quinn fans.
Yeah, so you would recommend it to Harley Quinn fans?
Yes.
Specifically. And
Specifically, yeah.
That's it. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I hate, saying, I wouldn't recommend this movie to anybody. Especially, one like this, because there's a lot of people who are walking away and they liked it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because it's not even important to the DC universe, and I feel like it's just bad filmmaking. I'm not going to recommend it. I think that you could probably spend your $12 better elsewhere. But, if you really, obviously, if you're really into it, you've probably already seen it. So,
Yeah.
But if my words of caution don't direct you otherwise, then go ahead, go give it a try. If you're really determined to like it, you'll probably find something to enjoy. So... I can't get behind Suicide Squad. I was able to defend Batman vs Superman, but I can't. I have a much tougher time defending Suicide Squad. I don't know if we see eye to eye on that one, but
No.
but there you go. But that's sort of the divisiveness of these DC movies. Different people are on different camps.
Yeah.
I am not on Camp Suicide Squad.
I would say, though, that between the two, like Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad, one is definitely better, and it's not Batman v Superman.
Okay, well, again, we are going to agree to disagree. Nevertheless, if you have seen Suicide Squad and you have some strong opinions, you think we're way off base or we're right on target, or whatever the case may be, feel free to comment on the website. You can follow me at DougJC Ferguson on Facebook or DougJCFerguson.com because I'm all over the place, man. I make myself easy to find just for you.
Not me.
No, Mason's not as easy to find.
I don't like people.
He hates all those human beings.
Oh, God.
Their independent minds and thoughts.
I barely can stand Doug.
Yeah, and I'm trying really hard, and I give him candy and everything.
It's the candy why I come over.
You can still follow him on Twitter at AbsurdusMason. He won't follow you back because he's never on Twitter.
I am so infrequently.
And you won't find anything interesting on that feed. But if you really want to follow him, there he is. Mason, thank you so much for coming on the show and sharing your comic book knowledge and thoughts on the Suicide Squad.
Thank you for having me. Thank you all for listening to us ramble for God knows how long this is going to be.
Yeah, thanks so much for listening to the Checking the Gate podcast. We are moving on.